had an interesting thing that happened in my ride today.
Giddy
Thought
up.
I would mention it to you. It's very simple. It's not very big, but because I was thinking about, you know, some of the people that we've been watching online who have sort of demonstrated a lot of co-ops recently. And
Like you're politically correct. I dig you. I need to take
Yeah.
a leaf out of your book.
Well, I've had to kind of I've seen some of my and so in my ride it just sort of came on in, and my whole perspective on these particular people, and I got very clearly within it that even to judge them and to be angry with them and to kind of be one up on them is a co-opt in itself. So I realised where they got me as well. So I have to be really quite neutral so that I don't get co-opted. And the whole idea of co-opting can be as subtle or as insidious as they come. Like, it doesn't have to be like suddenly you turn into fucking Wall Street Satan or something like that. It could be really subtle. So
Look, anything that sort of sticks in your craw.
I like that.
Dig it. It's focusing outside of self. I mean, I know. You know, I either hear them fucking cut and paste something I've said and I know it because it's the exact fucking wording or concept done badly. Or it's like they're nearly there and they turn it on its ass and it's like, no.
Oh, it's so disappointing.
I mean, that same guy that I was referring to, what he had up instead of his, like, you know, he was on the video, was a picture and it was a flower of life turned the other way around with a chakra system on it. And I just was like, oh, it's too much for me, boyfriend.
Oh, God. It's like you can feel
you know,
the
and I
bullshit.
really wanted to talk to him and say, hey, like, let me share what I've seen that. I want to share what I've got. Make up your own mind. I don't care if you like it or not, but I just want you to be exposed to more information.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Oh, you know, it's made me a bit jaded. I've really got to pull my finger out and just make sure I'm in that neutral and, like, accepting what I hear. But, you know, fucking Jesus, the snake oil salesmen are coming out. Because it's not over. We might all be waking up. We might all be seeing exposure. But they've still got, we're not out yet. They've still got us. You know, if they can somehow harness our belief system still. Like, my current favourite is this one, the floating cities.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I wanted to vomit there. Yeah, totally.
Was just smoke in your eyes. So the floating cities. So as Danny pointed out, my dear friend Danny, CERN a week before released all this stuff about we're going to open a portal into another dimension, da-da-da-da-da. And lo and behold, a week later, here come the floating cities. AI fuckery. If you don't believe me, breath test it. Okay? They're getting us ready for a fucking Project Blue Book pretend alien invasion. And so what if there are floating cities? Are they affecting your experience? Unless they're, you know, taking you onto the organic timeline and rocking your world, who gives a toss? Anyway. So,
another distraction.
But what I heard then was somebody else making a comment when that was all brought up about how, but I remember so-and-so's grandfather could see floating cities. And, you know, that was before Project Blue Book or CERN. Now, I'll give you 5 more seconds to see the fault in that thinking.
Now I'm on the spot and I'm just like, there has to be a fault.
Okay, well, you know, that was before CERN. Do you think CERN's their first way of controlling us?
Oh, fuck no.
Right?
No.
Is a replacement of the pyramid system or an addition. Yeah. They've been doing this for a while. Or just a couple of 100 years, as we think.
Exactly. I don't think that...
I reckon it's about 1,500, 2,000. Right? And I reckon it's about 1,500, 2,000 years. Maybe up to 4 or 5, but it's in the thousands.
Okay.
Because, see, my first memories when they came to me were of about 35 to 40,000 BC as pre-dynastic Egypt, and really that was Atlan Ra, or what I could discern of that. And then I went back further, and it was the Lemura memories and then I went back to actually walking out onto this terra firma about 200,000 years ago, right? But then again, we're talking time. I'm measuring it from a matrix concept.
Yes.
It could have really been just yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. It's all in a moment. The matrix stuff could be just in one moment. That's
but understand, as a consciousness invasion, right? They're going to fuck with your consciousness. Which is how they, there's another video in this series called The Glands, and it's all about how the pineal gets corrupted, or how they corrupted the pineal and how it's now not corrupted, and how when we use pineal as a stargate, we're reading the pineal through Mu's codes. We're not reading it.
Yes.
Anyway, it's all in there.
Yeah, it's not like a remote view of something. It's actually you're going right
but
through.
But also, no matter light, it's information. So what consciousness or level you interpret that information makes a difference. So we're interpreting it not from matrix co-opted fucking glands that have got no idea of the yin yang. We're interpreting it from Mu's language, from her instruct.
Yeah. It's quite a different experience, isn't it?
It's authentic.
Yeah.
So, in the other ones we talk about, clearing the co-ops in the glands, etc. Just, it's time now. Clear yourself. Because as you're clearing yourself, right, and bringing up Muzi, she knows what's going on. You're still part of that matrix. You're a virus in their fucking field.
Mu knows what to do. It's like even these days in my ride, I surrender more and more to Mu.
And what
it's
an
like
art,
if I don't know what's going on, it's just.
But what an art, and that is the art, to surrender to Mu. To surrender to the feeling, to surrender to being in that absolute moment, not analysing it. See, I reckon what I've noticed since clearing, particularly the head glands, is that I don't feel the corpus callosum. I feel it all one big brain.
When you say, sorry, just to define for me, the corpus callosum, that's like the split, right?
Yeah. The bit in the middle that joins it, or that splits it. I don't feel that. It's like I feel that's the organic timeline, or the organic Mu, or whatever the fuck, I don't know. We'll have to find some word porny little shit though to say it, the yo way.
Yeah, dig it.
As that's happening, I'm feeling that division of the brain is going. That's how they fucked us. They compartmentalised us. They sold off the feeling, emotional, and then they got us on the light with the, the brain analytical. And again, I say all these things through they're all matrix concepts. What do we really know?
That's it. How deep does the rabbit hole go?
How many green pills can you take?
It's pretty crazy. But it's so liberating, isn't it? Like, it can be initially quite scary that everything is pulled from underneath you, but it's so incredible because it gives you this sense of real sovereignty that if you're not attached to any of it.
When I first understood the macabre, and by that I mean I understood the co-ops, the potentials, and how it was used or has been used, etc.
Yeah.
At first I was like, holy fuck, the deception. And then I was so fucking excited to know the other, like the truth of it all. And then, it was like I was let in on the secret, or I was like, Mu was like, yeah. And I really saw how through the whole thing, it's like she's learnt to play the game. She's learnt their weaknesses.
Yes.
Or maybe we've helped her see. I don't fucking know. By being, instruments of the thing.
She's played the game. Like, I get that. She kind of went, all right, how have they actually done it? How can I fuck that?
Mm-hmm.
And she's
done
it with such grace. Oh, she's done it so beautifully. But initially it's a bit of a shock. Same with the chakra system. To realise
the chakra system didn't shock me because I've just always had a bit of a thing with it. Like, I've always seen colours and gone, that's not a natural colour. I've seen it for a while. So when it wasn't a biggie for me.
Yeah.
To see it as a co-opt. I think it was bigger for me really to see the star tetrahedron co-opt. That was sort of
that was a shock, especially since it's part of the work and everything. I thought, oh my God. But even so, at the time that I found out about it, which is very soon after you, the last few macabres that I helped people start didn't even have it. When I tuned into it, they didn't have the geometry. Do you remember? Like when I tuned into the last girl that I helped, her.
But I told you I've never started it with geometry since I.
Yeah.
So I didn't really. My understanding or my learning of macabre technology is the geometries inside interpret the reality for you or set the reality, etc. So,
I forgot what you're going to say.
Well, because Bussy's doing something in the background. I'm about to turn around and go, fucking shut up.
But we were talking about how within Light Code 1, you never used the geometry.
So for that reason, what I would do when we were starting the macabre was I would connect with essence, their essence, and just say whatever the geometry is that you want, you start. And so I'd hold space for that. And so I never really paid that much attention, like it had to be this, it had to be that, because, I trust that I'm dealing with a sovereign being and I treat you as such.
Well, I think...
After all, I'm giving you tech. I'm not giving you dogma.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you what it should be. I'm telling you how to get there and you have your own fucking experience.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why I never just went down that road. And so when you said that, it was like, yeah, I dig it. I understood exactly how that had evolved for you.
Yeah. But I felt really quite protected anyway, because I thought initially I was like, oh, fuck, what have I been doing, right? But then when I looked back on it and the way that in Light Codes how macabre technology is activated and the way it's done, and it's done in a purely feminine way, there was no fear of it being something corrupted because it came from essence and it came from that absolute neutral, from Mu. So it was very quickly diffused for me after that realisation came to pass. So that was really great. That was really great to know.
Really great. Really great. Well, yeah, so that's sort of how it happened for me. But this is what I'm saying about consciousness. It's like in hindsight, as our consciousness has grown, we can look back and understand what's gone on. At the time, it's a whole different thing. This is why I'm saying all these people are trying to get out there and define. It's like just fucking relax and experience and let everybody define it for themselves, because we cannot afford to be fucking with people's belief system and belief systems. And by that, I mean people have to come up with their own, because they're manifesting their experience in the reality, right? If they just want to cut and paste someone else's, what are they doing? They're not in sovereignty.
No.
And
no, they're not.
Get with the program. So it's about you finding your belief system, and it might coincide with a lot of other people's. Awesome. Great reality we're creating, right?
Yeah.
But it's like in that you're not being dictated to, you're not back in control domination. So you haven't brought that matrix concept into this into this organic 3D, into this organic experience. So, wake up and smell the roses.